Hello, my name is Emma, and today I am starting a new reading vlog. It is currently December 20th. All right, hold on. Clearly it is not December anymore. In so many ways I wish it was. So back around Christmas, I had decided to film a Christmas-themed reading vlog, but I never really ended up finishing it, and by the time I would have had it uploaded, like, it was well past Christmas, and it just felt out of place. But Christmas in July is a thing, right? Because we're all still stuck at home, I felt that everyone could use a little bit of a lighthearted, wholesome content full of holiday cheer. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I am reading some Christmas-themed books, and I will be reading throughout the Christmas holiday, so I think it'll be a really fun video, which I am already failing at because today was supposed to be day one of this reading vlog, and it is 9:45 at night. But I actually have gotten a nice amount of reading done today, so let me introduce the books that I have already started. The first is like a staple for me during this season, and it is my fourth read of this book, which I'm sure many of you can guess is going to be The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. So this is a sort of young adult remixed retelling of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. It follows a girl named Holly Chase who is like your stereotypical rich, entitled, mean girl from California. You guys know how the story goes. Holly is visited by three ghosts on the night of Christmas Eve that tell her that she's going to die if she doesn't change her ways. But she wakes up the next morning, thinks it was all a dream, completely brushes it off, and then she dies. Fast forward 5 years, and Holly is spending her temporary afterlife working for an organization called Project Scrooge that is all about changing people who have the power to do good in the world through recreating the story of A Christmas Carol. But of course, things take a turn when we find out that this year's Scrooge is not an old geezer like the story goes, but a young hot boy that Holly wants to get to know behind the company's back. So I'm currently listening to the audiobook for the fourth time. I read it for the first time in 2017. I read it twice in a row last year, and I'm so happy to be starting this book again. I'll give you an actual reading update after I introduce my second book, which I just started today reading physically, and that is Winter Spell by Claire Legrand. I've had this book for like 3.5 years now, but I decided to pick it up because it is actually a Nutcracker retelling. This book takes place in New York, 1899, and it follows a girl named Clara Stoll. And on Christmas Eve, her home is invaded by creatures from another world. So Clara has to travel to the land of Cain with a cursed prince in order to save her family. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about Winter Spell because from the reviews that I read, like, no one was really raving about it, so I was afraid it was gonna be a total flop for me, and I was ready to start this vlog and be like, I honestly might drop this book after the first 20 pages. The Nutcracker is a very special Christmas story to me. I've seen various performances of the ballet all throughout my childhood and young adulthood, and I rewatch it every year on YouTube, so I'm excited to do so while I'm reading this story. So I have these two super Christmassy retellings to dive into this week that I will be reading throughout Christmas, and I'm very excited to take you along with me. And as always with my reading vlog, this is going to be spoiler-free, so you don't have to have read either of the books to hear me talk about them, but nonetheless, I hope you guys really enjoy this video. Okay. So let me give you a little update on what I read today while I was not vlogging. I am very proud of myself for all I read today because I have barely been reading these last 2 weeks. I just can't find the motivation to pick up my books. And that's not because I don't like the books that I was reading, because they were two of my most anticipated of the year. I just needed a break to read something different, which is why I feel like these books are going to do so well for me this week. With The Afterlife of Holly Chase, I am 1 hour and 45 minutes into the audiobook, so I'm probably like 6 chapters in. Despite how much I personally love this book, with this fourth read, I am definitely picking up on why other people don't like it as much. I've always had this attitude where I'm like, I know this isn't the greatest book in the world, and I get why people don't like it. It's still a favorite of mine, but I'm really starting to recognize some of the issues that make more people give it like a 3-star rating is what I typically see. The writing is a little corny, and it's always been a little corny. I'm just noticing it a little bit more this time around because each year my tastes are evolving more. It's totally not the most mature or sophisticated book out there, but it is just pure holiday fun, and I cannot get enough. I'm at the part where Ethan has just been announced as this year's Scrooge, and there's like a lot of commotion in the Project Scrooge office. Holly is the ghost of Christmas past, so her and her team are tasked with investigating Ethan's life, sort of going into his mind while he's sleeping and identifying the figures of his past who correlate with different characters from A Christmas Carol. So yeah, I'm loving it. I can't wait for the story to pick up, and I'm just really excited to continue. With Winterspell, I am 60 pages in, which I personally think is amazing, especially considering I had a very productive day. Many of you know that urban fantasy is one of my absolute favorite genres. Anything where there is like a secret mythical world inside the mundane world that we live in is like always my jam. Again, the story hasn't totally started yet. I feel like the next chapter is when like her family is gonna be kidnapped and we're gonna really start getting into the plot. But so far it's really holding my interest and I'm excited to continue. I don't know much about any of the characters yet. Clara is just sort of coming off as that stereotypical like girl in the 1800s who like doesn't agree with society's view of women, and so she's strong because she can fight. So I'm hoping we get more depth from her character as the story goes along. This book has always been pitched to me as like a dark Nutcracker retelling. Like on the cover it says, definitely not your grandmother's Nutcracker tale. There's already this interesting political arc about an organization called like Concordia, and as Clara's dad is the mayor of New York City, like her family is involved with it. So yeah, I don't have too many thoughts on Winterspell yet, but ultimately I like it so far. I want to keep reading, and like that's all I really could have asked for today. I'm honestly tired. I want to go to bed, but I am going to try and read at least like one more chapter to sneak in because I feel like I need to get back into the habit of reading before bed in order to complete this reading vlog. So I'm going to drink my Angry Orchard out of this giant mug like an adult, read some Winterspell, and I will pick up with you guys tomorrow. Ew. So there's a pedophile in this book and he makes me so uncomfortable, and I hate him, and he's in like every scene so far and I want him to die already. Ooh, okay, that's not happening. Hello, welcome to the next day of this reading vlog. Just popping in to say I'm currently shoving my face with some yogurt because I have to go to pole and I have to eat before I go to pole, so I thought it was a good time to do just a little quick update. So I went to grab my book to tell you how much I read last night, but then my bookmark fell out. So now I don't know where I am. Okay, I'm like roughly on page 95, so I read a little bit more. It's mostly been some action scenes, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Like I said, it's supposed to be like a darker retelling, and there's like some gruesome fighting in there, which I enjoy. Not much to update on with Winterspell. I'm going to be hopefully reading some more today, so I'll have more concrete thoughts on maybe how the characters and the plot is developing, but it seems like they're like just about to dive in to going to the land of Cain, possibly. With Holly Chase, there's something that I feel like every time I reread it, I like remember that it's a part of the story. Like if you're a big rereader like myself, I feel like every time I reread a book, there's always a couple of things that while I'm reading, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that part and I really like it. But then after the fact, it's just like not one of the main talking points when I'm recommending it to other people. So I feel like a lot of people would read this book and be like, oh, like Holly's just like boy crazy. She just wants to get to know Ethan because he's hot. Over the last 5 years of Project Scrooge, every Scrooge that Holly has been investigating and working on is someone that she's technically supposed to have a lot in common with, as she was a Scrooge herself, but they're all old and obsessed with money and like have no other interests outside of that. And in comes Ethan, who is young, attractive, comes from a wealthy family, has some difficult family situations. So it's someone that she sees a lot of herself in, and that's where her interest comes from. I had another note, but I wrote it on my phone, and now I'm filming on my phone, so I can't read what I said. Oh, I remember. Also, I enjoy hearing about Holly and how she feels about Yvonne. If you have not read the story, Yvonne is Holly's late stepmother, and through the story, we get a little bit more information about what their relationship was like, and Holly talks about the fact that she gravitated towards Yvonne because she was the person that gave her strength and helped her cope with her mother's death. So while you may just think, oh, Holly became a bitch because her mother died, no, she began to emulate one of the only other role models in her life that gave her the tools she needed to survive and protect herself from the world. A lot to think about. I'm thoroughly enjoying both books. I have like a 35-minute drive to pull and a 35-minute drive home, so I'm gonna get a ton of Holly Chase listening in, and I will update you guys later.
Good enough. Okay. So now you're going to cross this leg over. Good. So you need it on the wall. There you go. Nice. Now you keep squeezing with that. Oh, you have the leg. You let go. Nice. Keep squeezing. Beautiful. Very good. You're doing better. Very good.
Told you that like I was gonna get a lot of audiobook listening done on my way to Pole. Didn't happen. I gotta stop telling you guys in these vlogs when I plan to read because it just never happens. It was not by choice though, because my Audible app will not stop crashing. So I could not get my Audible app to work either of the times that I was driving earlier, so I didn't really get to listen. But honestly though, it's not like it even matters. I'm not rushing through this reread. I am trying to savor like every last word that I listen to, so if I have to take a little bit longer, that's fine. What I did do on the way home from Pole today though is a little bit of Christmas shopping, so I thought I'd share with you what I got my best friend Atiya. So Nat and I were good friends to each other this year and gave very clearly defined things as to what we wanted to get as gifts. So the first is this pendulum that I got at A Time for Karma, which I showed you in the vlog earlier. It is like a metaphysical witchy shop. Nat's pendulum had broke, so I got her a new one. It's pretty much the same one, and it has like this line of different colored beads that represent the different chakras. I found these earrings that have the Om symbol and also the same beads for the chakras, and I just really thought that Atiya would like it. She wears a lot of really funky earrings, so it just seemed like her taste. And the other thing that she asked for was lavender oil. Now they had a lot of different oils there, like fragrance oils and essential oils and purpose oils, and I know nothing about any of that, so I'm very hopeful that I got her the right kind of lavender oil. If you're curious what I asked Atiya to get for me, it is of course a replica necklace of one that Lil Peep wore. How could I not? I've been wanting it for so long, but I just like have not been motivated to get it for myself, so I'm really excited to exchange gifts with her. So now I'm actually going to take a bath. My body is really sore from Pole today, and even a couple of days ago I'm still a little sore from, so I feel like just laying down in a hot bath of water and reading some Winter Spell is going to really make me feel good. Good morning. It is the next day. I did not get any more reading or audiobook listening done after my bath yesterday. I was editing, I was doing TikTok dances, and then Atiya came over and we didn't finish watching Harry Potter until 3 o'clock in the morning. So I didn't get any more reading done. I am pleased with what I read in the bath yesterday. I'm like 130 pages in on chapter 14 of Winter Spell. Still really enjoying it. Again, I feel like I haven't had like a lot of concrete thoughts about it so far, other than I'm having fun. It honestly reminds me a lot of like the Mortal Instruments for some reason. Obviously they're incredibly different, but I guess it's like Clara and Clary both have to go on a mission to save their parents with a boy who's from that world that has to help them. I'm also predicting that Clara is going to have some magical abilities, and so it's just like a lot of tropes that remind me of the books that I started reading when I got back into literature. It's fun. I'm having a good time. It has like all the best Christmassy vibes, and I'm having a lot of fun trying to figure out like who each of the characters are meant to represent. Oh, and there's been like more action scenes. I like wasn't expecting this book to be as like fast-paced and have lots of fighting like it does, but it's really surprising me in a good way. No progress on Holly Chase, but I'm actually about to go to the gym. I be working on my fitness.
He's my witness.
I'm going to listen to it for the majority of my time there, so hopefully we'll get some great progress done. So because this is a Christmas themed reading vlog, I thought it would be cool to show you guys the Christmas decorations I have on my bookshelves. Since 2017, I have been decorating my bookshelves for holidays like Halloween and Christmas, and I seriously look forward to it every single year. I did already post a video of like the process of me putting up these decorations and like all of the close-ups on my Patreon, so if you'd like to subscribe to my Patreon, you can see more content like that coming. But for now, let me give you a quick tour. So with each of my bookshelves, I have like a sort of different theme to them. So this is clearly the Christmas bookcase. There's lots of tinsel and ornaments, and since I know you guys are going to ask me, the tinsel is just held up by Scotch tape. What is one of my favorite parts of the shelves is the books stockings. I got these mini stockings at Target a couple of years ago, and they are my favorite thing to put up every year. So clearly this thing plays music. This is actually one of my decorations that my mom had when I was a kid, so... Oh, is it moving? I did not even know it did that. Oh my gosh, look at it go. And all along here, I have some more decorations. There's a couple of things I've gotten from like Michael's, or the Nutcracker is definitely one from when I was a kid. Also Michael's, also Michael's. And all of the ornaments are from Michael's as well. And then this year is a bit of a new addition with this winter-themed bookcase. It's hard to see from afar, but the main feature of it are all of these different wintry and snowflake-themed ornaments I have all around. Got this snow globe from Michael's back in 2017. I also have lots of trees and pine cones like all over this shelf just to like add to that like wintry, foresty theme. And this cute little porcelain snowman.
That doesn't work anymore since
Suck my dick.
What? I don't have one. Did you just say that to me? Did you really just say that to me?
Can I start scratching them off? You can start scratching them off. I don't know how any of these work. Do I just scratch them all?
I don't know. The bonuses
I don't ever
on the
win.
top, though.
I already got $2.
You already won?
I won $2.
Yeah, it's only $1, so you made a profit. I got a bell and a lemon. Nope, nothing. I never win lottery tickets ever. You literally always win, and I never do.
Don't.
Yes, you do. Oh my god, we were really close to winning $500.
We're actually
No, but it's if you add up to $1. Oh wait, no, that's an apple. Oh, that was so cold. I thought that was the money bag, but it's an apple.
Nothing.
Congratulations on your $2.
You do always win a couple of bucks.
She always wins a few dollars. Okay, so my family has never really been big on gifts. Like, typically, me and my sister will just ask for, like, one main thing that we want or else money. So mostly for Christmas this year, I got cash. But I did get one major gift that I have been so excited about, and I figured that you guys would be interested in seeing it. And they are my new pole heels. So these are my brand new pleaser boots. They are 8.5 inches tall, and I am so obsessed. I have been wanting these boots for like well over a year now, but I finally got them. We love a good heel clack. Yeah, I'm obsessed with them. Many, many thanks to emmmabooks for providing me with these amazing, amazing pole heels. Good morning, Merry Christmas. It is Christmas Day, and Hannah convinced me to come to the boardwalk to go for a walk, and it surprisingly has been really, really nice. It's getting a little bit cold out, but it was a great way to start our morning. So I'm about to head out for Christmas Day dinner at a family friend's house, but I thought I'd give you a quick little update as I have been listening to more Holly Chase this morning. I think I'm like 6.5 hours in, 6.5 hours to go, so it feels like I might be 3/4 of the way through. Is that not half? Is what I said not so blatantly half? I think I misspoke and meant to say I was further in. I don't know. Math is not my strong suit. The last scene I read was Thanksgiving, and obviously like the big climax of the book is Christmas, so that's my speaker telling me that it's dying. The last scene I just read was Thanksgiving, and obviously the climax of the story is Christmas, so there's only like a month of plot left to go, and I feel like it's gonna go by really quickly. The main thing I take away from what I've listened to this morning is that while I talk about like, oh, like everyone thinks that Holly's like so bad, but she's actually not, and she's gone through so much growth thus far in the story. But damn, she is still really selfish. Like, Holly does a lot of things throughout the whole book where I'm just like, girl, like you are not thinking, but with some of the things that specifically just happened and the way that she's starting to interfere with Project Scrooge's operations in order to like forward her relationship with Ethan and stop them from finding out about it, it's just really messed up. I've always loved Holly's character arc, and when I think about like the perfect unlikable character, I always think about Holly. And despite all the growth she goes through and that you're constantly rooting for her in this story and you want her to have her own happy ending, like she still does things that are messed up, and I like having that balance and complexity within her. I feel like they just can't have too much good or too much bad, but Holly lays nicely in the middle. I'm gonna go to dinner, but when I come home, I plan to make some Christmas cookies, which I have been really looking forward to, and I'm gonna listen to even more of Holly as I'm putting those together, so I'll show you some of that later. Oh, I also haven't read anything on Winterspell, but I did so much reading yesterday that I think I can get a little pass, and hopefully I will end the night reading more of it as well.
That's the dog.
Yeah. Is that what you're looking for?
Priscilla, when you're done, can you pass the grape?
So I had a very nice Christmas dinner. It actually ended with a blackout where half of our town lost power, I guess, but everything is okay at home. I have not gotten any more reading done tonight because I filmed my worst books of 2019 video, which I had a lot of fun doing, so I'm excited to share it with you guys. And now I'm going to go out with a few of my friends. We're just all not doing anything tonight, so we thought we'd go to a bar or something. They were all very excited at the prospect of me filming a vlog this week, and they wanted to be in it, so I'm sure I'll share some of that with you guys later. had mentioned to you guys in like, I guess the last clip that I filmed that like, I knew there was some conflict and tension coming, and it has. But you know what? I forgot, honestly, like how much my heart and like my body actually hurts when I come around to this scene and like for the next couple of chapters. I just love Holly and Ethan together so much. Like they are truly one of my top OTPs. And for other people who are also like get very into the fandom and the romance of their favorite books, like when things are going wrong, you legitimately feel in pain for your favorite characters. So that's where I am in the story now. I've like listened to like 8 hours of it. We've got maybe 2 hours left. It's like Christmas Eve, like the end of this story, the climax is coming, and I'm really, really excited. Rereading it this time around, like I said earlier, like I've been noticing that the writing is a bit more corny than I typically prefer, but I love the plot of this novel. I think the storytelling is just absolutely excellent, and I feel like no matter how many times I read it, I'm gonna continually be impressed. So I had a pretty uneventful day. I worked 9 to 5, so I was doing work stuff, but I did get a significant amount of reading done. I'm now like 260 pages into the book, so I'm over halfway done. And I also have been listening to more of Holly Chase. I only have 1 hour left, so I really think I'm going to finish it tonight. Although Christmas is over, I really do want to keep up the Christmassy spirit, so I'm going to be making some Christmas cookies, and the ones that are my favorite to make around this time of year are called Hershey bar butter cookies. I'll link the recipe in the description below. It's really easy, but they are so delicious, and I'm really, really excited. So I'm going to listen to hopefully the rest of the afterlife of Holly Chase while I'm cooking, and I'll show you the final result and hopefully get back to reading more of Winter Spell tonight. So this is where it ends. It's unfortunate because I feel like in the last 7 months I lost some of my reading updates, but I'm still really happy with the vlog. You guys already know my thoughts on Holly Chase. I love this book to death. It is the best holiday YA out there, I feel, and I will reread it every season. With Winter Spell, I feel like I really didn't get to express my thoughts all that much, and most of that boils down to the fact that while I was reading, I just didn't have a lot of thoughts. I ended up giving it 3 out of 5 stars. Though I started really liking it in the beginning, it really lost my interest along the way. I really didn't connect with any of the characters. A lot of them were just straight up unlikable, underdeveloped, or their motivations kept flip-flopping and they weren't consistent. There was like an interesting theme of Clara's sexual awakening, which like I didn't pay a lot of attention to while I was reading because I just felt it was a little odd. But then it got me a little confused if like some of the intimate moments between girls were meant to be romantic and if this book was supposed to have queer representation, but it just was not clear at all. My declining enjoyment could also definitely be attributed to the fact that I was continuing to read Winter Spell after the holiday season, and it kind of put me in a reading slump. So by the end, I just wasn't all that interested. Those are really my thoughts on the 2 books I read during last Christmas. Oh my god, that's just so weird to say. I really hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I'm super happy with the way it came out and very grateful I kept this footage all this time that I could finally share it with you. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon for a new one. Bye!